Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me today as always. How you doing today? Did you have a good time last night, Saturday night? I hope you went out and met some beautiful women. But if you didn't, we're going to talk about what attracts women today. Today's topic is going to be, don't just do. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, I see a lot of these guys, pickup artists, dating coaches, life coaches. I hear all this. I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach. I'm a guide. I share my experience with you, what I've learned in my 60 years of life to help you flow through life a little better. And the reason I do that is because a long time ago, when I was over at one of my mentor's houses crying, well, I wasn't crying, but I probably was before I went there, about my girlfriend that dumped me. I was 30 years old. I had never been dumped, not like that. And I was whining to him how terrible it was, and he made me write a letter and bury it in his garden. I think I've told this before. But anyway, he told me when I get big and strong like he was then that I needed to pass it on like he passed it on to me. So that is what I'm doing, passing on to you what I learned from him and many other people and many other experiences that I've had in my life. So what I was talking about is I see all these coaches and people telling you about all these techniques and these boot camps. Now, I'm not saying boot camps are bad. If they're going to get you out there and make you do something, you're going to learn, regardless of whatever techniques they show you. So that's good to get out there and do something. And sometimes it's easier to do something if you have a group of people or a group of men doing it, or someone to tell you or make you go do it. Sometimes I need someone to make me do what I know I need to do. Unfortunately for me, there's not too many people around that do that anymore. It's like my old mentor used to tell me everything that I needed to do. And one day I went there and shared a problem with him and he didn't tell me anything. And I'm like, well, aren't you going to tell me what to do? And he's like, well, it's about time you start making your own mistakes and learn from them. So that's what I had to start doing. So what I'm talking about is all the techniques and all the modalities and whatever you learn from books. This is all good, but until you become the man behind the movement or the action or the words, these things will profit you very little. And really what they're going to do is cause you more pain than pleasure. Because whatever you achieve by these techniques is going to be short-lived. For example, let's say you meet a girl and you have all the pickup lines, right? And you play it off really smooth. You pick her up and she is just excited to be with you. You guys go home, you're together, you make love, or you have sex, or I can't say the word, okay. But whatever choice you decide to make when you are with her, however you do that, whatever words you use. Okay, so, but it's great. Great for her, great for you. And then you go out the next weekend. Here's what happens. If you are not the man you presented yourself to be when you met her that she really was attracted to, she's going to soon figure that out. And she is going to be disappointed. And guess what? You're going to be disappointed. Because she thought you were something you were not. You presented something to yourself, to her, that you were not. Okay, so she was attracted to a false identity. Now, a lot of men say, well, girls are always projecting this or projecting that. They put makeup on, they dress up, and that's not really what they look like, and they're doing the same thing. Well, guess what? You don't have to live inside their skin, and you don't have to live with their results, but you do have to live with yours. So what I'm telling you is, when you go out to do these things, be the man. Okay, now granted, you have to go out and try some of these things, and as you try them, you become that person. But unless you combine these actions with the mental attitude, the mental fortitude, the mental strength, and the mental conditioning, you really never gain anything. Because like I said, you're presenting a false self. And any girl who's attracted to that will soon see through that. Excuse me. And she will be disappointed. And you're going to get your heart broke, or you're going to be hurt, or you're going to be disappointed and then pissed off at the girl. And it's not her fault. You are the man. You lead the interaction. Wherever it goes, it's your responsibility. Now, have I always led the interaction to where I wanted it to go? No, I haven't. I've been disappointed. But if you look back in retrospect, as I have, and take the word blame out of the situation, the relationship, whether it be short or long, that you had with the woman. I've been married 4 times. I've had a lot of one-night stands, a lot of long relationships, a lot of long-term relationships and marriages. Now, I could sit here and blame my ex-wives for this and for that, but where is that going to get me? Now, granted, they did some things that were wrong or dirty or bad, but then who doesn't? Okay. But it doesn't matter. If I focus on that, it accomplishes nothing for me. I have to look at my part in it. How did I allow the relationship to get to the point where she thought she could do bad things to me, or she thought she could disrespect me, or she thought she could devalue me? I can change that. I can't change what she did. And as I said, you are the leader, you are the man, you are responsible for the environment of the relationship, the tone of the relationship, and the way everyone is treated in the relationship. Now, you can't stop initial disrespect, but when it starts, you have to have boundaries, and you stop it right there. Now, you don't have to bitch about it or complain about it or get into an argument about it. But let me give you an example. Let's say you're out at a restaurant and you're eating, and this good-looking guy walks by, and he looks at your woman, and she looks at him. And she doesn't only look at him, she gazes into his eyes as he walks by. And maybe he says hello, and she says hi. Okay, and then he walks on by, and she looks back, and she looks right at you. Okay, she was obviously flirting with him. Whether it be intentionally or she was just drawn to this man, doesn't make any difference. It's the same thing. So what you do, you don't like that, but you don't want to appear jealous and insecure. You're not jealous if you don't like that. You are territorial. If she's your woman or she's your date, she needs to be acting like your date. She doesn't need to be looking around. That's a red flag right there. That's the first sign of disrespect. So you want to check her on that. So you look her straight in the eye and you say, don't do that again. That's all you say. Now she's going to say something. What do you mean? I didn't do nothing. I just said hi. You just ignore what she says after that. You made your statement. You're a man. She knows what you mean. You continue on eating. If she keeps trying to argue about it or talk to you about it, you just say, well, how do you like your food? Is it good? I like my food. And you just start talking like you would as if it never happened. Okay? And if it happens again, something similar, you don't say anything. You don't say, well, I told you I didn't like that. Don't do that again. You just ignore it and withdraw your attention. Excuse me. Maybe you're out on the date later on in the evening and she does it twice. You know what you do? You just say, I'm getting a little tired. I think it's time to go home. And if you're on the way home, you're not talking to her. You're not being cold. You're not acting like you're hurt. You're just doing your thing. And she says, are you angry because I looked at that other guy? I'm just tired. I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. I got to get home. That's all you say. She knows, but you don't want to discuss it with her. You make the impression, you let her figure it out by her imagined feminine intuition. That's the way she wants to figure it out. And when it impresses on her like that, she will either comply or she will go goodbye. One of the two. But you cannot tell her, you cannot convince her, you can't talk to her. Because if you say, well, you did that again, and I told you earlier I didn't want you to do that. I didn't mean to, I won't do it anymore. You just as well be talking to the wall, because she is not going to understand that. She may tell you she won't do it again, but she will do it again, because you didn't make any impression on her with your words. You cannot communicate with her logically and expect her to make an impression where she is going to not do it again. Now, even if you communicated covertly and let her figure it out, she may or may not stop doing it. But then you have to decide whether you want to continue on with this and allow her, because the disrespect will only grow and it will get worse. Okay? So you more or less what you're doing is you are vetting her. You're trying to figure out if she's worth more time or not. You can keep her around or continue to see her if you just want to have fun with her or have a friends with benefits, I'll say it that way. But for LTR, long-term relationship, it's not someone you want. If she did that twice in one night, more than likely she's going to continue to do that. But you can withdraw your attention and see what she does. Your attention is the coin of gold for women. No free attention. Unless she is doing something for you or giving you something, you do not need to give her your attention. Your attention is valuable. You're a busy man. You're a high value man. Got somebody pulling up out here. That's what it is when you got 6 kids. So I may have to cut this off. I think I will. But hey, thanks for joining me. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. If you're on Instagram, leave a comment in the comment section. But YouTube, you can leave a comment too. I hope this has been of value to you. Share it with a friend. And thanks for joining me. Have a great day.